Jocko Willink, discipline equals freedom. Are you striving to be the happiest, fittest, and most successful version of yourself? If not, why not? Maybe you're too busy right now to work on yourself, or you don't have the money or the motivation to change things yet. Maybe you just need to stop making excuses and get started. This is where the videos come in. This is your field manual to a more confident, healthy, and prosperous self, covering everything from food and exercise to leadership. Discover what motivates discipline, how action, aggression, and perseverance move you closer to your goals, and why accepting responsibility for your life is the way to liberation. Number 1, discipline comes from within. What are you fighting for? People are often curious about the secret to being better, smarter, and stronger. More importantly, they want to know how to get results quickly. What life hacks can they pick up? What shortcuts may they take to achieve success? The answer to this question is nothing. True self-improvement cannot be rushed. It takes time and a lot of discipline. Discipline is your weapon in the battle against the small voice in your head that tells you, do it tomorrow. You've seen it before. It tempts you to return to the couch rather than finish the dishes. Discipline may repel laziness, but from where does it begin? The main point here is that discipline comes from within. What are you fighting for? Jocko was aware from a young age that he was training for war and that he would eventually have to confront his adversary. He had no idea when or how it would happen, but he knew he had to be emotionally and physically prepared to win. This compelled him to brutally train himself and his men for battle. He didn't let excuses get in the way of their progress. When he and his men were called into action, they fought valiantly and triumphantly. His military tours are complete, and he has returned to normal life. What motivates him now are the memories of his fellow comrades who never returned home. To honor their sacrifice, he makes every second of his day count. And all you have to do to make the most of every moment is figure out what pushes you. How? The first step, of course, is to quit creating excuses. Only you have authority over yourself. So, if you want to get up early, go ahead and do it. Do it if you want to work out every day. You can do anything with a little mind control. It requires effort to get better, fitter, and stronger. Yes, it's stressful, but so is life. That's okay. Humans were designed to handle extreme stress. Consider all of the soldiers who fought in history's epic battles. Jocko did this to get through his time in Iraq. If warriors before him could face death in the First World War's Battle of the Somme or the Civil War's Battle of Gettysburg, he could as well. That's discipline. Gaining perspective, conquering what you can control, accepting what you can't, and moving on. Number 2, make aggressiveness your default attitude. Discipline not only fortifies you against laziness, but it also feeds your desire to succeed. It provides you direction and clarity. You understand why you chose to get up at 6:30 a.m. instead of clicking the snooze button. Aggression should accompany your determination to reaching your goal every day. Of course, this does not imply that you should be openly nasty or aggressive all of the time. Aggression is the spark that fuels your desire to pursue your goals. It takes a fighting spirit to employ all of your resources to outmaneuver and exceed your opponent. When you are aggressive, you are proactive. You do not wait for your adversaries to attack first. Aggression is not a negative trait. It is a character trait that motivates you to succeed. The main point here is to make aggression your default mode. You may believe that you are born with this internal hostility, but Jocko argues that neither counts when it comes to the dispute between nurture and nature. You eventually become who you are as a result of your decisions. Do you want to put in the effort to create your own kind of success? Or will you let chance determine who you become? See? It's all about options. And as opposed to popular belief, your circumstances do not determine your future. Jocko served in the military among people from all areas of life. He met Ivy League graduates and ex-gangbangers, children from good households, and children with no family at all. He can witness to the fact that there are success tales and failure stories in every aspect of life. Your life story is not written by nature or nurture. You do. It's simple to sit on the sidelines and do nothing, but discipline forces you to fight in the front lines out of fear of failure. Jocko disagrees with the notion that failing is acceptable. He believes that you should be so afraid of failing that you avoid it at all costs. This is the terror that drives you to think, strive, and push yourself to be better. Fear encourages you to stay at the gym longer or work harder at the job so you don't lose, ever. You should be afraid of mediocrity as well as failure. Fear of waking up in 10 days or 10 years and realizing you've wasted your life by not making an impact on the world. That is a truly terrifying thought that you should fight every day. Number 3, concentrating on the wrong things prevents you from becoming the person you could be. You only have one life to live, and only one chance to make it count. This is stressful, but developing a few solid habits will keep you on track to being the best version of yourself. You must eliminate anything that impedes your advancement, such as ruminating on blunders. They're unavoidable. They are made by everyone. And as tempting as it is to dwell on those errors, the past cannot be changed. Regret merely halts progress. The sole useful purpose of regret is to tell us what we should do differently next time. That's all. So instead of living in the past, let regret fuel you to learn from it. The only thing that is definite is the now. You'll have the most influence if you focus on good action right now. The main point here is that focusing on the wrong things prevents you from being the person you could be. Discipline is what pushes you to achievement. But exactly, what is success? It's what you want to accomplish. Don't lose sight of it once you've figured it out. Ever. And don't get sidetracked by short-term aspirations driven by rapid rewards, such as transient glory. These will only hinder your long-term success. Be persistent so that your long-term goal gets rooted in your thoughts. Allow it to take control of your thoughts. Tell others about it, write it down, or do whatever it takes to remember it. Above all, take action to make it happen, right now. Don't be shy. In fact, get rid of hesitation in your life. The most terrifying part of deciding to do anything is the period between deciding to do it and actually doing it. In that short period of time, the battle is won or lost. That hesitation prevents you from progressing. You can only win if you act before hesitation takes hold and gives your opponents the upper hand. The aim is to always drive forward without letting anything, especially fear, stop you. Every day you are confronted with fear. But what are your plans? Quitting and fleeing? Will you choose to absorb the greatest amount of impact, pain, and stress? No, you should take responsibility. Choose to be the person with the broadest shoulders in order to carry others. As in a combat situation, become the first to draw. The soldier who draws first gives the group the upper hand. In a war, it can be used to distract the opponent or to locate their location. It is being the leader that is not scared to stand and fight for you. Number 4, master your mornings, and you will master the competition. Now that we've discussed what discipline entails, let's put it into practice. Everyone should start 2 important daily habits right away: a hard workout routine and decent sleeping habits. First and foremost, if you aren't exercising frequently, you should start. Exercise increases your natural endorphin and testosterone levels while also boosting your immune system. Furthermore, it improves blood flow to the brain and releases chemicals that aid in thinking. If you can't find time to exercise, you're just creating excuses. Find the time you require. In reality, getting up earlier allows you to make more time. It's quite early, as in before dawn. Getting up that early in the military is known as standing to. The main message here is that if you can overcome your mornings, you can overcome the competition. Armies all across the world have been trained to get up unusually early every day. This is not to penalize them, but to provide them a competitive advantage over their opponents. If an adversary assaults, they will be prepared to fight back. During World War I, men were expected to be in the trenches at early light, guns loaded. So no more excuses. You can do it if they can. Set your alarm for 4:30 a.m. and go to the gym on the double. Getting up at this hour provides you with a psychological advantage over your opponents. It makes you feel stronger and more confident knowing you're taking your first victories of the day while they're still sleeping. But who wants to get up at that hour? It's stressful. True, but with discipline, it is possible. It simply means going to bed early enough, perhaps even earlier than usual. Most adults require only 7 hours of sleep every night. So if you go to bed at 10 p.m., you should awake refreshed by 5 a.m. And if you've grown accustomed to sleeping longer, improve the quality of your sleep by increasing your physical activity, which causes your body to become tired enough to sleep well and sleeping less. Another important aspect of proper sleep is shutting off electronic devices well before bedtime. According to scientists, the blue light they create confuses your body into believing it's the middle of the day, making it difficult to fall asleep. Instead, read a book. It will be more calming than a YouTube video, while also making you wiser. Number 5, make a commitment to work out and set up a home gym. Regular exercise is really necessary for being the greatest version of yourself. But what is the best workout? Anything. All forms of exercise are equally beneficial. What counts is that you're moving, whether it's stretching, walking, lifting weights, swimming, or playing basketball. Exercise does not have to be difficult or supported by scientific evidence. All you have to do is move your body. Whatever you decide, it's a good idea to keep track of your progress. Keep track of how far you ran each day or how much you lifted each session. Tracking will not only allow you to see your progress, but it will also assist you in implementing goals into your routine. The essential message here is to commit to exercising and to set up a home gym. Isn't discipline about refusing to accept excuses? You won't have any with a home gym. Find a small space or corner in your home, such as a spare room, office, backyard, or garage, and turn it into a convenient workout space. If you believe that a home gym is too expensive, reconsider. You only need a few items to get started. Install a pull-up bar first. With this simple rig, you can do push-ups, pull-ups, squats, and AB exercises. It works your complete body. Gymnastic rings are another inexpensive piece of equipment. You may use them to do ring dips, ring push-ups, and L-sits by mounting them to any wall. A squat rack with a barbell and weights is the final piece of equipment for the beginner's home gym. You can also perform dynamic lifts with rubber bumper plates rather than iron ones. This design provides an effective home gym that you may expand on as your routines progress. If you continue to your daily fitness plan, you will see results and the occasional illness. However, this is not an excuse to skip your workouts. Injuries happen, so plan accordingly. Change your attention to exercises that you can accomplish safely. If you damage your knee, focus on your upper body for a few minutes. If you pull your shoulder, work on your core and legs until it heals. And it's fine if your injuries keep you at home and you just need to rest. Do what your body requires of you, but keep pursuing something. Don't give up. If you are unable to exercise, use the time to improve your ability. Remember that if you don't, your rivals will. Number 6, begin your martial arts training with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You never know when you might be in jeopardy. It happens, even if no one wants to believe it. However, being physically strong is insufficient protection in dangerous situations. That is why Jocko advocates training in martial arts, a traditional self-defense practice. The fundamental principles of martial arts have never changed and remain the same, but they are constantly evolving with new techniques and moves. Martial arts can be divided into 3 broad categories. Grappling, which uses leverage and holds to dominate your opponent. Striking, which uses any body part, such as punches, kicks, and headbutts, to defeat your enemy. And martial arts with weapons, which involve, well, weapons. Think sticks, knives, and firearms. This is when Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu comes in handy. It's a more advanced type of grappling that concentrates on self-defense from the ground in order to free oneself and flee. Another advantage of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is that it is the most advanced martial art and never becomes boring. Beyond the foundations, there are a limitless amount of moves to learn, with the added benefit of exercising your mind as you acquire and enhance your talents. Of course, resisting an opponent in a controlled situation differs from confronting a real-world threat. That's why Jocko's first line of defense is to always be aware of his surroundings. That means you're constantly assessing people and your surroundings and planning for contingencies, such as locating the nearest escape route or cover, to protect yourself if needed. While maintaining situational awareness is a good first step, nothing guarantees that you will never face an immediate threat. Jocko will take you to act. First and foremost, if you have the ability to flee, do so. If not, use your training to strike first and quickly. Take advantage of any opportunity to flee as soon as you see it. Get down as soon as possible if guns are involved. Stay on the ground and, if possible, call the police. Take note of the gunshots. If the shooting is quick, seek out considerable cover to hide behind until there is a lull in the action, then flee. It may be your only chance. If we're dealing with single shots at a weak time, Jocko encourages us to run immediately and keep running. And number 7, your body is not designed to adequately digest grains. Food serves as fuel for your body. If you want to get stronger and faster, you must nourish your body properly. Many of us, however, rely on empty calories, such as donuts and pastries, to get us through the day. They may appear to be food, but they are not. They are simply sugar delivery mechanisms. So, what should you consume for maximum fuel? To understand how to eat in the present, let us go to our human past. Our predecessors survived on a diet of vegetables and meat with little fruit. We load our bodies with grain-based foods like pasta, bread, and rice nowadays. Unfortunately, the human machine was never fitted to grain processing. We've just been eating them for 10,000 years. Our prehistoric past generations never touched them. The main point here is that your body is not designed to digest grains correctly. This means that when grains are treated, they are converted into simple sugar. And we all know that eating a lot of sugar is bad for you. In short, grains should be avoided at all costs. Instead, feed your inner caveman with grass-fed steak, free-range poultry, and wild-caught fish, as well as vegetables, nuts, roots, and modest amounts of fruit. Grain, potatoes, refined sugars, salt, and legumes should all be avoided. Whereas the typical Western diet is high in carbohydrates and low in fat, eating like our ancestors did means changing today's diet. Limit carbohydrates and consume plenty of fat, followed by protein. The key is to follow a caveman diet all of the time. The common 80-20 rule of eating healthily 80% of the time and unhealthily the remaining 20% is dangerous. Sugars, in particular, are addicting. Giving yourself permission to eat them 20% of the time is akin to being a recovering heroin addict who is permitted to use heroin on occasion. The temptation is too powerful, and it's simply not worth it. Of course, this does not exclude you from enjoying a reasonable pleasure on occasion. However, don't use it as an excuse to start binging on sugar. Jocko treats himself by dipping a little piece of dark chocolate into coconut oil or topping a bowl of whipped cream with chopped nuts. These may appear to be modest rewards, but when you're eating clean, these treats can be deceivingly decadent. As a final note, the main point of these videos is that there is no shortcut to becoming a better version of yourself. Stop creating excuses for not eating well, exercising, or completing your goals. Nothing in your life will work unless you do. So take action today to become the person you desire. You have the ability to absorb stress, toil tirelessly, and to surpass your rivals at every turn, regardless of your upbringing. Implementation advice. Take a power snooze with your feet up. Even if it's only for 10 minutes, taking a power nap will enhance your energy. You can improve the effectiveness of your nap by sleeping with your feet elevated above your heart. This relieves pressure on your circulatory system while also assisting in the distribution of blood that has accumulated in your legs. So, if you're napping in a chair, put your feet on the desk. Or if you're in your bedroom, try lying on the floor with your feet on your bed. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. If you have any thoughts or comments, please drop them below in the comments section. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel so you can stay up to date with all of our latest content. You can also check out some of our other videos by clicking on the link in the description below. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.